Hi, thank you for tuning in today. My name is Gavin. I am the audiophile wannabe. And on today's episode, we're going to look at the Cambridge AXR 100. This AM/FM receiver, two-channel amplifier, has been on the market since July of 2019, so it's probably not new to most of you. Matter of fact, a number of reviewers have sung the AXR 100's praises since then, and rightfully so. It's an amazing amplifier, and as many good reviews as this amp has received, the question I'd like us to think about today is, could this amp still be underrated? And if so, how good is the AXR really? So let's talk about this for the next few minutes. So how on earth could a product with so many favorable reviews possibly be underrated? Is it cost effective as a great entry-level amplifier? Yes. At $699, a number of reviewers have even given it the best amplifier under $1,000 award. And it's even got most of the connectivity you need, minus HDMI. And there's the connectivity to look at to the left if you would like to pause and take a look at that. But where I think this amp is possibly underrated is in the area of adaptability. In the 3.5 years that I've owned an AXR 100, I found a few key standout points that I'd like to talk about. The first point is, no matter what component I've paired the AXR with, the sound for me has been very good. Sure, it's got that standard warm British sound, but whether I'm using their components, which that doesn't really count, or others like Weem or topping DACs or streamers, or old Pioneer or Sony CD or DVD players, or even an old Realistic or new Fluence turntable, all the components I've tried sound very nice through this amp. The amp's sound seems to be quite versatile with most components and speakers also. All the speakers I've paired with the AXR sound really good. Now, I haven't tried Magnepans, but they easily power the numerous clip speakers I've paired them with, as well as some 4-ohm Wharfedale speakers. The amp has plenty of power, and the specifications are to the left, and the power seems to be clean, meaning the better the components and accessories that I've connected to it, the better the amp seems to perform. And this leads us to point number 2, which I believe is its most underrated feature, and that is the product's adaptability. So what do I mean by adaptability? Over the past 6+ months, I've been focusing on testing my own system, trying to understand potential weak links and make improvements where needed. Oddly, with every change that's been introduced to my system, this amplifier keeps performing better and better. This amp hasn't shown to have any real weaknesses so far, at least in my experience. For example, after recalibrating my system geographically in the room to achieve a real soundstage, or adding room treatments or upgrading various cables, each change has only allowed the AXR to demonstrate how clear, clean, and powerful it really is. And most recently, this really came to light when I added a Prima Luna Evo 300 into the mix. You can see it top left on the picture there. I wasn't sure how the two would pair, but the Cambridge and Prima Luna sing together beautifully. Technically, I don't think they're in the same tier of audio components, but it doesn't seem to matter to the AXR. The clarity and precision of everything I'm hearing now is a bit more than just next level. At least it is for me anyway. The thing is, the AXR is performing at a tier well above its cost point. If an amp at the AXR's price point had a weakness, I think I would have heard it by now in this amp. Or with this amp. As of the time of making this video, I honestly haven't heard what I would consider a real performance weakness other than Bluetooth. But that's Bluetooth, so that doesn't really count. Maybe we could count banana plugs as a weakness, but still, at the price point, I wouldn't. Speaking of banana plugs, the amplifier has performed so well, I am actually thinking of adding some nicer copper plugs just to see if that helps the sound improve even more. And the last point you're already familiar with, and that is the cost. To find an amplifier that has little to no performance issues, at least to my ears, for $699 and can be paired with other components well above its performance tier and hang just fine performance-wise, I assume would be challenging, but the AXR has done just that and has earned my respect. To wrap up, the AXR is quite versatile and pairs well with many components and speakers that are out there. Secondly, in my experience, it does seem to perform better with higher tier components. There doesn't, for example, seem to be any real background noise, and the precision of the various instruments and vocals continues to be more refined. And there's enough power to push most speakers. It can definitely play above its pay grade, so to speak. And lastly, that pay grade or cost tier is less than $1,000 at $699. With an amp this good overall at the price point, the AXR 100 is well worth the consideration. Thank you for hanging with me through today's video. If you're looking for a new 2-channel amplifier for under $1,000, please consider or reconsider the Cambridge AXR 100. If you have one in your system or have had one, please let me know in the comments below what your experience has been. I'd love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this content, would you mind liking the video, clicking that like button, and subscribing to the channel? Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.